All right, so if you don't know, as you do know, right? Antonio Moore did a video responding specifically to Tariq Nasheed, did a tweet. And in his tweet, he talked about if Trump is willing to do things that are tangible, I'm willing to vote for him, blah, blah, blah. For whatever reason, Antonio Moore, one of the so-called founders of ADOS hashtag, has made a video just saying specifically, no, ADOS is Democrat. And we've been getting them elected and giving them our vote for the last 50 years. And we're going to make them give us reparations. And we're not going to use our power to persuade them to give us things by voting different parties. Nope, we're going to just vote down ticket. But we're not leaving the Democrat plantation, right? We're not leaving. This is where we belong. Now, I knew this from the get-go. I knew this from the jump. If you look at my video, why I respect or why I support ADOS despite the politics of their so-called leaders or founders. Because it's about identity, it's about lineage, it's about other things. Now, O'Shea Drew Jackson did a video not that long ago where he broke down why he thought that ADOS would fail and why other movements like Tangibles 2020 or even Dr. Claude Anderson's, my interjection, exceptional people, would be more picked up. He wanted to bring it to the silly stuff about Yvetta being light-skinned and it could possibly be mixed, even though she already addressed that. Like, that's, come on, let's be adults here. It's a simple search to find that information out. You don't have to guesstimate and say that. It's already been addressed. She has 2 black parents. She's not biracial. She's a black woman who's just light-skinned. Right? O'Shea also said that, you know, her producer got a white wife. Now, I know Irony. I think that's his name. He's an African. He was with her in the beginning. I don't know what happened with that, but he left her channel to go do his own thing. I don't know if him being half African and her doing the whole ADOS thing was a problem. I don't know what it was. I do want that tea though, but nonetheless, they aren't working together. He wanted to go do his own thing. He did have a white wife, and I don't think that was an issue for her, because allegedly, according to Dr. Boyce Watkins, she dates white women. I'm not gonna say her girl is white, but she has dated white women. Clearly, Boyce spilled those beans. So O'Shea made that argument. I'm like, nah, that's not an argument, dog. Like, lineage matters, right? Like, it's beyond that. That's the beauty of what ADOS could be, is that it can not embrace those things, but despite those things, despite who you with, love interest. Yeah, I know that black folks getting their feelings over who people with and all other nonsense, but I'm saying this was beyond that, right? This was an opportunity to be adults and be beyond those type of things. Her sexuality, the fact that she's a swirler, shouldn't matter when it comes to this conversation about lineage and reparations. It's deeper than that, right? So I disagree with O'Shea that that's the reason why it's for. I said from the get-go, I thought that Yvetta would say some wild stuff and, you know, spaz out and turn off people who are ADOS. I would rather say DOS, descendants of American slaves, descendants of slaves. Because of her pettiness and her knee-jerk reaction and how, you know, and I said this about her already, like, why would you, in the midst of the battle, right? You got the mainstream media coming at you. You got the bourgeoisie black Negroes. You got MSNBC, Joanne Reed, Malcolm Nancy, Talib Kweli, Angela Rye, Simone Sanders. You know, you got all these people, prominent names, using their platforms to come at you, and in the midst of that, you say, I'm going to go on my way and go pick a fight with Boyce, pick a fight with, and I know Boyce is petty and he instigates a lot of stuff, but I'm saying, you pick the fight with Boyce, you come at Dr. Claude Anderson out of nowhere for no reason, and your whole movement comes from him. He's been talking about black folks being an exceptional people the last 20, 30 years. Like them, he made it a hot line. You might have made it a hot song, but give that man his respect. He's been talking about these things for a long time, a lot longer than you. He's been in politics involved, so you can't even discredit his receipts like you do a lot of other people, because he's been in politics. He's worked for administrations. He's worked in the White House longer than Yvette Cornell has done. But to the point, Antonio Moore responded to Tariq Nasheed's post, which I thought that was fake. I didn't think Tariq Nasheed was gonna say, we're willing to. I didn't think he was that politically astute to think that way, because honestly, a lot of these pro-blackity blacks, they don't really want solutions, right? They just want to bark at every angle, and every time there's a mere solution or looks like some light at the end of the tunnel, they shut that down too, because they sabotage it, because they don't really want solutions. Their hustle, their struggle, their hustle is the struggle, and they don't want any sides, right? That's like, I think that's how a lot of them are. They don't even know how to finesse and finagle a potential situation where, let's use that for our benefit. Yeah, we know it's not a real thing, but we're gonna write that out to our benefit, right? Kind of like how conservatives are rocking with Tulsi Gilbert, right? They don't like her. They just like what she's doing to the Democratic Party. They like how she's exposing Hillary Clinton and the DNC, right? So we're gonna give her and pump her up. Republicans are gonna give her money because she's causing dissension in their party. She's exposing a lot of bullshit. And then people feel the need to go out and say, well, she's not really a conservative. We know that shit already. That's not the point. But she could be used to a benefit, right? And I said before in my video when I discussed it, if they can, smear and make all these lies up in the media to the point where black smart people, right, are repeating the rhetoric of Russia and bots and Trojan horses and all that shit. If they could do that to a sitting congresswoman who is serving in the military currently, not saying that exempts you from anything, but I'm just saying we do have some high regard for that, right? It's fucking Veterans Day yesterday or today, whatever, right? We do give them the benefit of the doubt, right? Do we not? She has highly classified information on situations because she's a part of that, that whatever they call it, like I forgot what they call it, but she's in that group where they discuss those things, right? And what they're accusing her of could be considered treasonous, right? So they could do that to her. What do you think they could do to your black ass, right? McCarthyism all over again. That's why you support that and that theory. I support her and all that. I'm not gonna vote for her. She's just as liberal as Bernie. She might not, support open borders, which I don't, and I agree with her on that. And she might want to stop the regime change war, but I'm not gonna vote for her, right? I can't even vote in the primaries because I'm not a registered Democrat. But she can be used, and you can support the things you do like about her. But I'm just saying that a lot of these pro-black blacks will sabotage that, and she ain't this and she ain't that. I'm like, chill. So I was surprised when Tariq Nasheed made that statement because I think he didn't have that in him to say that. And he did, which I think all black folks should be free agents and say, yo, whatever party comes with something, we're going to talk to. But Antonio Moore went out of his way to say, no, nah. We're Democrats. Black women, 96%, black men, 85% over the last 40, 50 years. This is our party. This is where we stand. But the problem what I had with that is that he says because of the Joanne Reeds and the N Cobras and the Talib Kweli's and the Dr. Craig Gars and the Roland Martins and all the other people, Simone Sanders and Angela Rise and you can put Charlamagne in that group. Because of all of them calling us Russian bots and because all of them calling us Trump supporters, we don't want to give it any motivation that they can call us that, right? Like, huh? So all these people who are in your party, right? They're in your party, Antonio Moore. They don't like you because you're willing to risk voting down ballot or not supporting a specific candidate because you don't rock with them, right? They don't like that. They want you to shut up and go in the corner and sit down. Shut up and dribble, right? Your Democratic Party wants you to do that. So they're just throwing out all types of accusations, lies, Russian bots and, black, you were duped by the Russians and anti-immigrant, all this other nonsense, right? But your logic is, well, because they are accusing us, which Dr. Greg Carr did on Roland Martin's show. Like, this is an intellectual. This dude teaches history and law at Morehouse or one of them HBCUs. And he goes out of his mouth and says that they're all Trump supporters, right? Like, where would you get that from? Yvette and Tone are clearly Democrats. They're far, far leftists. That's the problem that many non-liberal ADOSs have with them. Is like, yo, we support black folks being pointed out and having, their issues addressed specifically. We support the idea of you actually wanting something tangible for your vote, finally. But we don't like your politics, right? And what Antonio Moore just did was he doubled down. He made it clear. He emphatically declared, "No, we Democrat. We stand over here. We're not going anywhere. We're not gonna do what Stephen A. Smith said. Well, just for one election, just chill out and vote something different." And I argue, because I don't think that's gonna happen, because black people are just politically not that astute. I'm like, well, why don't you go vote? Do what the Tea Party did. Why don't you go vote you at least black men? Go support a blue dog Democrat candidate, one who might support things that you like, one who might be for religious freedom, one who might not be pro aborting babies, one who might be pro gun, one who might not want to raise taxes. Why don't you go support a politician like that and put him up? And if he's a Democrat, right? The same way poor whites do in red states when they want to switch parties. They make that Democrat conform to their red state. Black people don't do that. Whatever the Democratic Party says, black folks go, okay, boss, even if it doesn't benefit them. In fact, one of the political candidates made the point that the reason why they love black women is because they will vote for things despite it not being in their interest. As you see today, a lot of black media headlines are talking about DACA and how 600,000 of the DACA recipients are black. Nice try, boss. That's less than 1% of the recipients. Chill. They're trying to scapegoat Haitians and Nigerians, which make up the bulk of that 600,000, to make you say, well, we need to go out here and support the 90+% of illegal immigrants that don't come from African countries. They come from, Mexico, Guatemala, South America, all the other places, right? But they're trying to scapegoat the 600,000, the less than 1% of them who happen to be black. Nah, B, try again. But my point is that they brought that issue to you and said, this is what you support now. Even though there's all types of data and information, particularly when it comes to low-skilled workers, that does have an effect on black people. Not widespread, specific cities, Chicago, California, New York, closest to the border states, those places are affected by it. Nonetheless, it does affect some black folks. So those black folks in those areas might not be for that. And it would make sense for them in their interest to vote for a Democrat that wants borders. A year ago, Tulsi Gabbard. That's something you could consider, right? She believes in all the other liberal leftist shit that y'all believe in, but she supports protecting the borders, and that benefits you. But Antonio Moore doubled down. He separated himself, and this was all inevitable, right? Like, we knew this was going to happen. It's not like it was rocket science. I just thought it would be Yvette, not Tone, who did it. And you hear people all over the internet talking about it. Boyce wouldn't say names, but he's like, why are we having this beef and that beef, and people should be working together? True. But I never thought that Tangibles 2020 was going to be attached to ADOS, because Tariq Nasheed specifically used words like foundational black Americans and stuff like that. He used the right, proper words to separate himself from Yvette. Yvette and Tone are liberal. They're far leftists. They're not going nowhere. They're standing over there with the Democrats. So that negotiation tactic, or that tool of switching it up so that you can vote everything everywhere else and using that to your benefit like other groups do, so that forces them to pay attention to you, no, they don't want to do that. They say, nope, we're going to stay here. We're still going to vote down ballot. We're going to vote for everybody but the president of the United States. And we're going to elect a bunch of people who support things that are not in black America's best interest, policies that we don't agree with, the neoliberalism, all the stuff that we like Yvette and Tone for. They call out MSNBC, they call out Roland Martin, they call out Jordan Reed. They actually hold their party accountable on some of the stuff that they're not doing. They will speak to the failures of Barack Obama, the so-called first black president of the United States. But they're instructing or telling their followers in ADOS to continue to go down that rabbit hole, which doesn't make sense to me. It would make sense to me that you embrace that there's all types of black folks in America who are ADOS, 30 million of us that are not immigrants, and we have a wide spectrum in views and political ideologies and whatnot. And it would make sense for you to embrace the independents and embrace the black conservatives who support the concept of paying attention to foundational black Americans and pointing out how we built this country and fought in every war in this country, right? How we, you talk to some of these white folks that could be all, I'm proud American, I've been here, this and that, but their grandparents just got here like 3 generations ago. I've been here like 10. Huh? And they act like they're more American than you. Different experience, right? We all, black independents, black liberals, conservatives, we can all acknowledge that. But then Antonio Moore took it a step further and said, no. Tariq Nasheed, you're wrong. Don't get it twisted. We're not about to, make people want us more. We're going to stay over here, Democrats. We let them know we're not going nowhere. We might not vote for the president of the United States, but we still going to vote for the rest of the Democrats down ballot. And we're going to vote for all these people that support the same policies that these Democrats support, and none of them support reparations, to be quite clear, right? They support the study of it, but they don't support it, actually. But you're going to keep voting for them. No, that's fine. If that's going to be your negotiation tool, if that's going to be your tactic to say, no, we're going to stay over here. But the context is why it's messed up. It's because people who already don't mess with you are going to use it against you. But they're going to use it against you regardless. You did the whole video saying what you said, and Cobra and CNN and MSNBC and all these people, I forgot, Bakari Sellout, that's what I be calling them. All these people are going to continue to call y'all Russian bots, to call y'all Trump supporters, because anything not stepping in line and sticking, they do the same thing to Bernie Sanders followers, the Bernie bros. They said, yo, we not supporting no neoliberal. We want this leftist in office, and we not going to vote for him. Vote for anybody I pick that's not him. Right? And they steadfast at that. And we've seen the critiques and the criticism of Susan Sarandon and others, celebrities who got blamed because crooked Hillary didn't win because they wouldn't support and move over fast enough to get behind crooked Hillary. But they stood their ground. They said no. But that's just my video though. Like, this was inevitable. It was gonna happen. I preferenced this in my original video. The original title that I wrote for that video before my other channel got, taken by YouTube. I wrote I support ADOS despite the fuckery of their leadership, and by that I meant Antonio Moore and Yvette Cannell, because it was obviously gonna happen. Yvette's over here picking fights with people where she got the entire world against her. Her own party is against her. Right? The DNC does not support ADOS. None of those candidates want you, focusing on just black American issues. Every candidate you see on TV, black and brown, woman of color, people of color, this and that, they're not trying to be specific and focus on you. Your own party's on that. And then you come out and double down and say, no, we sticking with this party. We're not going nowhere. We're not even going to use leverage or try to get people to focus on us. We're not even going to allow other folks who clearly made it clear that they're not hashtagging ADOS. They're hashtagging foundational people. So I don't even know why Antonio Moore felt the need to correct Tariq or come at him, because he's not using your hashtag. He's using his own specific, just like Dr. Claude Anderson uses his own exceptional people thing. So you don't have to, if Claude Anderson, who I think is smart enough to do so, said, Trump going to do this. I gave Trump my little plan for black America. This is how you get success. This is how you help the black people politically. You don't need to come out and separate yourself from him, because he has his own followers and he has his own group, his own movement. Unfortunately, y'all can't all work together, get together and do one big coalition. Okay, cool. It don't work like that. But the need to attack him or to separate yourself when you're already not winning the battle, I think they have high hopes. They think they've done more than they've done. Like, I hear them saying, Antonio saying, we did this and we did that and we forced this. I'm like, no, y'all didn't. Stop it. The Democrats tomorrow can be like, yo, forget them, we not done. Hey, Latinos, come over here, right? They can do that instantly. Right? But that's pretty much it. This whole ADOS thing, I would say it popped off and it was good, and we all felt some type of way about it, and I did a beautiful video. I'll leave it in the description box if you haven't seen it, breaking down why I support the concept of it, not the founders, not the politics of them, right? I support reparations, but it's not an end-all be-all for me. I know it is for them, but it's not for me. Like, I'm not sacrificing my Second Amendment rights I'm not sacrificing open borders, which don't benefit us, but Tone is telling his supporters to side with the people who do support that, right? Because that's part of their agenda, because they want those votes eventually. They want them to become citizens. Forget foundational black Americans who fought and built all this shit, right? Forget all that. I don't know. But this shit was inevitable, yo. We knew this was going to happen. The writing was on the wall. I just didn't think it was going to be Antonio Moore who did it. It was going to be better to say some stupid sideways shit that was going to just like, ugh, why is she talking? You know? Now, maybe O'Shea is correct about her being a woman and people leading that, but that's what she has Antonio Moore for. It's a two-faced situation. I don't think that their downfall is going to be because she's gay and she dates white or anything like that. Their downfall is going to be because they don't know how to make coalitions. They don't know how to work together with other people. They will be in the middle of the battle against the world and still pick a fight with somebody else that, in all essence, could be on your side. She went on her way to say, no, Boyce is not a part of this. Boyce can't be this. Like, Boyce is an ADOS. Despite y'all little personal beef and whatnot, which may be valid, he's still ADOS. He still has a voice in this conversation. His channel was too big for him not to discuss these things. I know he's in his feelings because some article, Black Star wrote an article about Roland Martin being the biggest media outlet that reaches black people, and Dr. Boyce is like, chill, we got 100 million too, and we get 40, 50 million on videos monthly. But yeah, that's just like, come on, man. Why would you, in the middle of the battle, I'm going to be a little bit more savvy and strategic with my shit. I'm not going to go out of my way to pick more fights when I already got the weight of the world on me. Like, it does not make sense that you're saying we're going to stop Tariq Nasheed from voicing his opinion and using his platform to do. Because I would rather have him say what he said than just not vote. Because I believe, honestly, at the beginning, Tariq he was encouraging folks not to vote. I would never do that. I would never tell you who to vote for or not to vote. That's your business. And he was doing that. At first it was, this thing or bust. But now I think Smart realized that you can't get everything you want, especially all at one time. And you start small and you get what you can, and you use that as a tool to say, oh, you got all these people elected and you help some of these people get some seats and whatnot. And then you can come back to the table like when it's time to renegotiate for re-election, like, yo, all right, what can you do for me now? But this, for whatever reason, Antonio Moore thinks he's going to do that to the Democratic Party. And they've already let you know, no. Kamala Harris said straight up, I'm not specifically doing anything for black folks in America. And then a couple months later, she's doing something specifically for Native Americans. Right? I don't know how that's going to work for y'all. The people who support y'all and on your team, Marianne Wilson, she's not going to be a nominee. Right? Bernie Sanders told y'all how he feel about race. I did the video. Bernie thinks class and race are the same thing, and he got Nina Turner looking silly out there saying the same shit. It's not. All boats don't lift all tides. That was the Obama shit. I can go on. But this thing with Antonio and O'Shea and Tariq Nasheed, it's all predictable. It was all going to happen. Like, I said it in my video. And now I'm just watching people on Facebook go back and forth and whatnot and bicker over what he said, and he didn't really say this and he didn't say that. People are really lying, saying, well, you better said this, just vote this was this. No, we're responding to what Antonio Moore said. Antonio Moore specifically said, no, what Tariq said is not true, and we separate ourselves from that, and we don't want to give ammunition to the folks who are on your own party, other liberals who just don't like y'all movement. Y'all don't want this. Y'all don't want them calling y'all Trump supporters. Well, y'all both Democrats and both Democrats all your life. What, like, that's all y'all gotta say. Keep it moving. They're spreading lies about you. They don't care about facts and the truth. They're purposely smearing you because they don't like what you're doing. And you to capitulate and say, no, we don't want any people thinking that we could ever support a Trump, even if he did do something for us tangible. Like, that's just not how you do politics. Not in my opinion. I'm out.